had emailed to Mr. Manfredi as general counsel to the board. It lays out my position as to what's permissible and not permissible as it relates to Mr. Rogers' disclosures of certain potentially very serious fraudulent activities by certain members of the board. The reason why I'm here is to lay out certain parameters as to what a whistleblower is entitled to. The first thing is that he's not to be retaliated in any way, whether directly or indirectly, by way of threats to his employment or any form of harassment. That's something that's clearly laid out in the law. I laid out the law in my paper that was given to Mr. Manfredi yesterday. The law is very clear and straightforward, and also common sense. You don't want to go and threaten somebody who reports what potentially is criminal or wrongdoing. But more importantly, in addition to his status as a whistleblower, Mr. Rogers is also actively participating in a federal criminal investigation. And that creates a whole series of other protections, and that is he's a witness. And as a witness, he cannot be intimidated or harassed or otherwise tampered with. That is a federal crime to intimidate a witness in an ongoing federal investigation. So my representation of Mr. Rogers is both as a whistleblower and also as a witness. And in connection with that representation, there are certain areas that Mr. Rogers will not participate in. He will not address any questions that relate to or reflect the very subject matter of the federal investigation. Secondly, any matters concerning his employment that may be directed to him by either the board or the public requires a Rice notice. So anything concerning his employment, I have instructed Mr. Rogers that he is entitled to a Rice notice. He will not address those questions. And anything else that I deem to be inappropriate. This is not done to obstruct his duties, his day-to-day activities as the executive director, but he does enjoy certain protections as a whistleblower. So to that degree, any questions regarding that matter for which I represent, you can direct it to me. I'll be more than happy to explain it, either through counsel, Mr. Manfredi, or through any commissioner. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes?
When you say that we cannot talk about his employment, do you mean his daily functions, as the daily duties that he has as the director of the Morristown Housing Authority, which we hired him to do?
No, of course not, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner, of course, matters concerning his day-to-day activities, certainly you're entitled to know what he's doing, and of course he's going to respond. But there's a line, and like anything in life, where if that questioning develops into his employment, matters concerning his employment, which I don't think you'll do or anybody else on the board would do, then that touches upon a whole different area, which requires a notification. But of course, you need to know what he's doing, and of course he's going to, he will answer questions regarding his day-to-day activities. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, anyone else, please come up and state your name, address.